Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In the last episode I talked about the mass lead poisoning at a kindergarten in Tianshui, Gansu, and even now no word on compensation. Meanwhile, another public health scare has erupted in Hangzhou. Starting the morning of July 16, 2025, residents of Yuhang district awoke to foul-smelling discolored tap water. Some people even felt unwell. Yet the water utility didn't issue an advisory until after midnight, and by the next afternoon they'd declared all tests normal. Even so, many Hangzhou citizens say their tap water still looks cloudy and smells bad. Because the official statement gave no clear explanation, rumors spread online, and authorities have been busy deleting posts and throttling traffic. Chances are the real cause, and any compensation, will vanish, just like in Tianshui left unresolved. Since 2013, Hangzhou has seen a tap water scare about every 2 years, each time uncovered by alert residents. Official wrap-ups always amount to, tests are normal, and then, nothing. This time was worse. People collected their own samples, paid labs to test them, and were politely turned away. Apparently, no lab wants to contradict the government right now. Drawing on my own experiences, today let's review how China handled past public health and food safety crises, and what happened next. KFC Sudan Red incident, March 2005. This is the only food safety scandal I personally lived through. Routine testing at KFC uncovered the industrial dye Sudan Red in the seasoning for their New Orleans-style wings. My favorite KFC item in China. I still miss them. We never had them in Australia. The very next day, Yum Brands China ordered every restaurant to stop selling and destroy all affected seasoning. Investigators traced it to a supplier who'd illegally added Sudan Red to chili powder for brighter color. The government then tightened regulations, ran nationwide inspections, and found Sudan Red in 88 products across 30 companies. What sets this case apart from the Tianshui lead poisoning, despite their similar nature, is the wall-to-wall coverage it received. Within weeks, KFC announced that all ingredients had passed new tests and the wings were back on the menu. I was there on day one of the relaunch. Melamine-tainted milk powder scandal, September 2008. This was China's worst food safety crisis since 1989, and I felt its impact deeply at the time. The scandal unfolded during the Beijing Olympics. Whistleblower reports led to a 7-month official investigation that confirmed melamine in Sanlu formula, and soon in several other brands too. Alarming as it was, news of Sanlu's quality problems actually dated back to 2004, but PR fixes had swept them under the rug, somewhat like Hangzhou's sewage claims in 2025. Because hundreds of thousands of infants were harmed, the crisis dominated headlines. I was a high school graduate then. Reading about babies sickened by tainted formula made me furious. The farmers who sold the contaminated milk and the store owner who trafficked melamine received life sentences up to the death penalty. Sanlu's chairman got life in prison, later reduced, with release expected in 2027, and the vice president got 15 years. Public outrage simmered. Those who profited most from toxic milk escaped the harshest punishments, and to this day many Chinese distrust domestic formula brands, hence the ongoing boom in overseas milk powder imports. Gutter oil recycling scandal, 2011. As a kid I loved buying cheap fried snack skewers, stinky tofu, teppanyaki from street vendors whose oil was always jet black. In middle school, I learned that some hot pot restaurants even recycled used broth, an early version of gutter oil. The 2011 expose revealed criminals collecting wastewater and restaurant waste oil, refining it, and passing it off as cooking oil. I was disgusted, and I stopped eating cheap hot pot. The scandal flooded national news. Over 700 people were arrested, and the worst offenders got life in prison. Fuel tanker transport of edible oil, July 2024. Unlike the first 3 cases, under Hu Jintao and Wen Jiabao, this one, like the recent Tianshui and Hangzhou events, happened in Xi Jinping's 3rd term. It shows how tightly public opinion is controlled today. On July 2, 2024, the Beijing News published an interview with a tanker driver and photos of trucks labeled as having carried industrial chemicals. Within hours, the reporter's Weibo account was deleted. A week later, an investigation began, but the first order of business was removing any app that let citizens trace tanker truck histories, silencing public scrutiny. 50 days later, the so-called penalties were announced. 3 people got 10 days detention for false invoicing. 7 companies were fined. China Grain Reserves paid the biggest penalty, about RMB 2.8 million, and 2 transport firms lost their licenses. Supposedly, local officials would be held accountable, but no formal announcement ever came. You read that right. A nationwide health scare ended with no criminal charges, just a whimper. If you found this breakdown helpful, please like, comment, and share. I'll see you next time.